Pimps? Thomas from SMB here. Um, I'm back at you with another awkward video intro. Yeah, stocks, they're not going up, they go down, and that's all they do now. If you started trading in April, that's all you would know is that stocks go down, and that's just how it is. The world as we know it is ending, and just short everything basically, and never cover, because that's the only way you're gonna make money in this market. Um, I'll get right into why. No, I'm just kidding. I don't really think that. I think that right now the market it's like an emotional little child, and it's got its way for the past 2 years where it just went straight up. And the first sign of a mom and dad saying no, you can't have candy for dinner, and it just throws a tantrum and does this shit. So I think at this point we're stupidly oversold just in general on the market, and I will explain why. But first things first, I stated in my last video that had no fucking audio, but I'll say it again in this one that hopefully does have audio because I can see my mic level in my recording program. I'm gonna actually review my trades, and I stated in my thesis last video that no one heard. I'm trying to stick to 3 trades a day. I will break the rule sometimes if there are trades that are way too easy. But yeah, that's mainly what I'm aiming for from the future. Just trying to get more refined, trying to only be very, very picky with setups. It limits my potential losses. I mean, it'll limit my potential gains if I ever actually get any fucking gains, but it will limit me from just like trying to revenge trade. I will have to be more diligent. It's a net positive. I think in the past I've been like, I don't know, even know, like overly confident, thinking like I can just will the market in my way, or I'm so confident this has to happen this way. But I have learned now over the 3 months of pain that the market does not give a fuck about what I think, and that's just the way it is. And now I'm only going to react to the A plus gainers, the big plays, the A plus plus setups and shit. So yeah, first I'll start off with the first trade I did, or not even the first trade, the trade I entered yesterday because I'm a stupid fucking bull thinking that the market would actually go up. I bought a Nasdaq call, and I stated in my video yesterday my reasoning for it was because I thought, which now looking back, it's always so easy to like be bullish at a time and then you see what happens the next day and be like, oh, obviously that's what was going to happen. So today was a great example. Yesterday, the SPY had a big intraday swing. We tipped down, or went all the way down like 1.5%, and then somehow SPY ended up green on the day. And the entire time, the Nasdaq was outperforming SPY. So I was thinking, in my little pea brain, I'm thinking, hey, if the Nasdaq's looking pretty strong next to SPY, and we do get a little rally because we're so oversold on the Nasdaq, then I'll fucking buy a call and reap those, because I'm not bullish in general on the market, but I know how these rallies go. We just had a fucking face rip rally for 3 weeks at the end of March that is already gone 3 weeks later. So I was just like being proactive there. I mean, I still stand by the setup, and it's not like it was a count killer. It lost like $140 on it. Sucks. Every time I do that to myself, I start off with a fat L, and it just like kills me the rest of the day. So another thing I'm working on. And today honestly wasn't like any great setups. Like yesterday it was choppy, but there were actual setups I caught. Like you could have shorted this little pullback, rode it down. You could have saw this VWAP break, see the EMA break, the EMA crossover, bought a call right there, rode it all the way up. I didn't do that because I missed out on the SPY call yesterday. Or I didn't miss out, I made something, but it should have been like a fucking $300 gainer, but of course that didn't happen. So, what was I even going on about? Yeah. But anyways, yeah, I bought a call thinking we would at least get some momentum to the upside to cool off the RSI and maybe even break this level here at 330 and possibly go and retest the 200 EMA up here. But obviously that did not happen. We didn't gap down like 1.5%, so that was nice. But what we did do was the bloodiest day I've seen in my trading career. What the fuck? We opened all the way up here on a gap. We went to fill the gap just a little bit, and just straight down the entire first hour or 2 hours. Yeah, just straight down for 2 fucking hours. So I cut my losses at the support over here where we bounced off VWAP yesterday. So it could have been really bad. Like I could have held it. I mean that's kind of what old me would have done, I guess. So it is like a positive. I try to look for the positive. You gotta learn something from every trade. If you did something good, you gotta be like, give yourself a little pat on the back. It could have been a fucking $400 loss. Obviously, I want to be Mr. No losses allowed, but that's just not gonna happen. In the future, I'm probably not gonna do anything like this again. I'm gonna wait until we actually get like some strength and not just like a little dead cat, stupid choppy up day. Uh, Before I do something like that again. So I was glad that I cut it, and yeah, I think in the past I would have been like, oh, don't cut it, it's gonna turn around, don't cut it, but it was pretty obvious today. And it was a shitty loss, so I'm never like, oh, I'm buying a call, but it's not working out. I should sell it and then go to puts because that's the direction it's going. I never do shit like that because that it just seems like the easiest way to just like flip flop, and then you're losing money both ways. So when I saw that we were just straight dumping all day, or I mean, yeah, when I saw we were dumping, I cut it, and I patiently waited for a setup for any kind of pullback up to the upside, but it just did not happen. It just went straight down. I mean, you could have bought, like, it never even tapped the 90 MA. Like, that's how bad of a pullback it was. And that is just not the kind of setup I'm interested in, where it just keeps going straight down, because today it worked, but most of the time doing shit like that will not work. Obviously today's an exception because it was the bloodiest day in NASDAQ fucking all year, so today's the one day I don't do it where it actually would have worked out, but I just know that it's not smart to, like, you see this much red to be like, oh, I'm sure it's just gonna keep going down. Like, just not my idea of a great setup. You could have bought a put here where it broke the low of day from yesterday. That would have been the only good opportunity, but that was like right after I sold that call. And then I was kind of waiting for a convincing pullback, and I had chances I didn't take. So in review, I look here and I see Q's, tap VWAP. I could have bought a put there, tap VWAP again. Definitely should have bought a put off of that because we broke it and then got a super hard rejection. And then we came down and then we retested it again, did the exact same thing. Definitely should have bought a put there, and then we really tumbled. And what do? We got our last red candle right through the 0% fib level through the support that we've had this entire pullback. So NASDAQ officially still in the downtrend with that. So that means next rally, if we don't break up past 370, then that is a lower high, and I will short the ever-living fuck out of it, and I will not ever, I fucking vow, I will never sit through one of these pullbacks without ever going short at any point, because it has been the most painful shit to just sit here and watch the market do this and just be like, it's gonna go up, it's gonna go up, it's gonna go up, it's gonna go up eventually, right? It's gonna go up, and it just fucking doesn't. So, especially this pullback gave you so many opportunities looking back at it. It's a 20 vision, what the fuck? Hindsight's 2020, that's what I'm trying to say. So, I mean, we got a quadruple top off this fucking gap, so at any point you could have shorted, right? Any time you could have shorted this gap resistance. After the second time, I should have fucking shorted it. Third time, should have shorted it. Fourth time, I should have been like, holy shit, we're definitely going down. Because look what happened after the fourth time. We just went straight down, broke this level, broke that level, retested that level yesterday where I bought that stupid call, and then down to the next level. So, in my opinion, I don't think that we just keep going straight down from here. The NASDAQ on the daily is just about oversold. It's about as oversold as it's been this entire pullback, except for back here in early January where it literally went straight down for like 3 weeks. So now I think the market is just going to hopefully not keep absolutely ripping downwards, because then some weird shit's going to happen. But I think it's going to be like a sloppy bottom that it finds at the bottom of this. Where did I write that down? put my fucking notes? Oh shit, it's right there. So, next support level I'm looking at for the NASDAQ is if we can hold 316. I mean, really, that's just the support that we have over here, where it bounced twice in the last pullback that we had of May of last year, where the NASDAQ pulled back 10%. God, what a market that would have been to trade in. Holy shit, NASDAQ's pulling back. It went down 10%, boys. Whoa, dude. Time to buy that dip. God, what a joke. So easy. Traders had it so easy back then. So yeah, I'm looking at 316 for next support. If that doesn't hold, we'll probably see as low as 304, and then obviously the big 300 is the next level for the NASDAQ. So these next few days, I don't think we're going to get any stupid rallies. Like, today was the bloodiest imaginable day. So, and the volume was just insane. Like, so much selling volume today. Like, this rally that we had back in late March, like, none of the volume on any of these crazy green days even compares to the volume that we had today and yesterday. So, I think at this point the market is, every rally is going to fail from here on out for the foreseeable future until everything wrong with the economy kind of either fixes itself through a full-blown recession, or the Fed actually just keeps raising rates and stocks keep chopping around and going down, and then everyone wakes up and inflation is no longer an issue, and houses don't cost $800,000 for a piece of shit, and everything else that's wrong with the economy. So it's pretty clear that the sellers are fully in control of the market. So I'm banking on the next rally is just gonna, I mean, it could be another just crazy big green. We're up 20% in 3 weeks, you know, buy the fucking dip. This is it. You're gonna miss out on these prices. I know this time, be more level-headed. Level heads will prevail. And I'm gonna fade the fucking rally and short the ever-living shit out of it the second I see any weakness in it. And that will be easy to do so long as we don't break 370. So, I mean, at this point, I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. Just as a technical trader, when you see this much red, you have to tell yourself, all right, you missed your opportunity to short. Do not short now. We're at the bottom. I mean, you could short. I shorted Snapchat. I'll talk about that soon. But we're at the bottom. We're oversold. We're at support. Like, NASDAQ could bounce at support right here. We did break it, but we could just go a little tiny bit lower and then get a big bounce. Could go way lower, still get a big bounce. I know we're going to get a big bounce eventually. How many shorts there are in the market right now, they're going to recover eventually. They just got a fuck ton of retail money, my money especially, shorting the shit out of the top up here. So lots of shorts out there, but the short selling side, the forces coming down are much stronger than the ones coming up. Like, this big rally we had late March was like a sign of a life from the bulls, but then the bears just completely extinguished all signs of life. So, yeah, I know now to just not be so emotional, not just try to convince myself against what the charts are telling me. That's exactly what I did this entire month. Just be like, we're going down, but, you know, just keep buying the dip, keep buying the dip. My idea of what a cheap stock is doesn't fucking matter to the market right now, because you can look at like Apple. I mean, and so that's another part of this, is that my reasoning for that NASDAQ can still really come down a lot is that companies like Apple's hardly even moved this pullback, right? Like, it came back almost up to all-time highs, and then we're still only at like 156. Its bottom was at like 150. And that is still just a small pullback. Like, just in May of last year, Apple was down here at like 120. So Apple still has a lot of room to go to the downside, and I think once we see that will be like the climax of this current pullback, is when we see Apple absolutely dump, which it did today. It broke through a key level today on the fibs. So now it's heading for that 0%. I expect it will break through it, and then it will find some sloppy bottom down here. Sloppy bottom. It sounds like a sex position or something. it'll find a gross looking bottom, and then we'll just get this super impulsive and maybe another stupid V-shaped rally. And I there's gonna be a lot of money. I mean that's the thing. I want to be as a trader. I don't want to like be like I can't make money on the downside because I'm so fucking bullish. Like I'm gonna do it for both sides. So now overall I'm bearish on the market because you don't see price action like today unless things are actually really bad. But in general, I'm still looking for wherever my opportunity of making the most money is, and as of right now, the state of how oversold everything is, I think it is to the upside. So one thing I noticed on Microsoft, which had great earnings today, is that it is right here. This is fucking crazy, dude. This is like where technical analysis actually kind of blows my mind. So the low of this candle right here, I got it up here. If you guys can look at the screen, you see the L, 270. Where did this candle go? The L, 270. Microsoft went to $270 on the fucking penny. It hit that support and did not break it. And now it bounced off it hard in the after hours. Now we're up to 282 after hours, right? So we could see a bounce off Microsoft support right there. And that's kind of how these rallies start, is that you get one big news from one big company like Microsoft, and everyone's like, well, gee, maybe things aren't so bad. Unless you're a fucking Google shareholder like I am. Idiot. So now I'm going to watch Microsoft to the upside because we bounce off of 270. We have a gap to fill up at 278. Although as of right now, if we open at the price it is, it's going to be above this key level. So say we open at 282, right? I'm going to be watching tomorrow, see if we retest 280, 81, this key level. If that breaks, go to fill the gap. I will wait and see what it does at the gap fill. And then we get to see a strong bounce there on Microsoft. And Microsoft is big enough to move the whole fucking NASDAQ. So I'm going to be watching that. The only thing about tomorrow is that I'm hesitant about is Shitbook. Mark Zuckerberg's stupid stock has earnings tomorrow. So everyone and their mother seems to think it's going to be the worst earnings ever, which makes me think it's either gonna do nothing or it's gonna go straight up. But I'm not convinced it's gonna go straight down. I'm still short on Snapchat because I think Snapchat's a hot piece of dog shit as just a company in general. While Facebook, you can easily make an argument that it is a sound company. So I am short on Nasdaq off of sympathy that Facebook will have terrible earnings. So I guess in my playbook, I assume Facebook has bad earnings. Maybe not terrible. Maybe they don't go drop straight down in the toilet. PayPal has earnings tomorrow as well. God, fuck PayPal. It's such a shitty stock. It's so crazy. So I imagine PayPal has really bad earnings as well. And these two stocks, I mean, Facebook is the top of communication service stocks. PayPal is kind of one of the kings of fintech, which can easily move the entire sector for these little in-tech stocks. So those are some bumps in the bull case for the NASDAQ. But right now, I'm watching vigilantly for the next big fat face ripper rally. And the reason for that is you can look at VIX. What does VIX do every single time it spikes up this hard? Anyone see, class? Anyone have the answer? What it does every single time it spikes up to 30 and well past 30? It goes straight back fucking down in the market rallies in the time it does that. Let's see for a good example. So January 24th. Let's look at January 24th on the NASDAQ. January 24. Whoa, what do we get? So look at that. VIX, it spiked all the way up to like 38 back here. And we got a nice rally. We got a big green day. It pulled back. We retested a level. And then we got a decent rally. So, I mean, that's a move from like 334. It rallied up to like 370. I mean, that's a 10% move on the NASDAQ. Again, to my point, it was a fake rally. It went straight back fucking into the toilet. So that's what I'm talking about, is that I'm going to be watching for what happens in these rallies and what key levels they go up to. If I had any brain at all, I would have seen this last rally. Where did it go? It went up to the golden goose level, 61.8 on the fib level. It went right fucking up to it. Fib levels are money. So you put your fib level up here at the high before Nasdaq crumbled and all the way at the low, and this last rally in March went up to that fib level. Like, what are the odds? It just so happened to go straight up to that fib level. I can't freaking believe it. And bounce right off it, and we sank. So that's what I'm going to be watching, and all these past rallies do that. So this rally, we went up to the 61.8 fib level, bounced off of it, retested this one, failed, tumbled. So I think this one right here, this one after the post-war rally, where we bounced off the 0 fib level, what do? We come up to 38.2 fib level, no strength there, tumbles back down. So I would like to think I have a better idea of what to look at in these rallies. I know these fib levels are strong, and I have no bias now. I am unbiased except to the downside because the chart tells me to go down. But if I see the Nasdaq go up 12% in 3 days, I am not going to be fucking buy everything. We're done, dude. The economy's saved. He's my long lost dad. He adopted us all. We're his children. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. So, yeah. That was another thing about today is that the VIX, it went up straight up to 33.52. So that is a fucking insane spike. It is way overbought on the RSI, or it is getting to overbought, and almost every time it gets up there, it comes straight back down. So that's what I'm watching. Nasdaq, same thing on the daily. We're about oversold on the RSI. It bounces every time it gets to this level. Look at SPY. I'm just rambling over here. I haven't really been very organized this video. So SPY. Where did I write you down? So SPY, we're still here at potential support here at this level we had at 415. Tomorrow, if we're red, I will look to see if 415 holds. If it doesn't, obviously we go down to that 0 fib level. I doubt that holds. Below that, we have the gap to fill. Hot damn, does that gap? Nah. Nah. I gotta check this out. Where we at? So we got a gap to fill on SPY from 403 down to 400. So, yeah, almost 100% chance we fill that gap if 410 fails on SPY. But if we bounce off support here, I will look to see if we can reclaim this pink line right here, 422. And if we reclaim that with some strength, that could be rally time because SPY is also on the daily at oversold. It's more oversold. It's about as oversold as it was, yeah, right going into the fucking Ukraine war. So, yeah, I will try to go long on any potential rally. And then as soon as it falls apart, like every rally has so far, I will short the living piss out of it. Oh, and then I had another trade today on Apple, so this trade I'm mad about, obviously, because I did what I always fucking did. I sold too early. What do we got here? So I see a shoulder there up to that fib level rejection. We broke the fib level, tested it, held it, rejected it hard. That gave us a head, and then we had another shoulder go test the fib level, reject it. That gives us a shoulder, head and shoulders. So I go short right there, thinking we're gonna break the neckline on that. We didn't. We chopped around, retested it again, so we got another retest of that fib level, this is why Apple is like such a I really need to focus more on Apple. It's the way it moves, it just bounces around these levels so solidly. It gives you such easy like signals when to buy and sell. So we tested that fib level. I already covered over here and took like $3 in loss. Then we touched it, and then we come back down to where I shorted it, and we just tumble. So I was just a little too early. I could have easily shorted over here where we went up and tested, then destroyed the bottom. But so that's the way she goes on that one. I mean, we took a small, tiny little loss, but I was upset because I was once again right about what was gonna happen. My execution was just off, but that was my third trade of the day. I didn't take anything big today. Just swinging that Snapchat put. But knowing my luck, tomorrow we'll get the face ripping rally on the Nasdaq, and that'll lose about $300. But pray Pray that that doesn't happen. Oh, I'll look at Snapchat. I should probably explain myself for Snapchat. I'm all over the place this video. I didn't really plan this shit out very well. So my thesis, Snapchat. What do we do? So I'm trying to employ the golden goose strategy into my trading, which is you have to have like multiple things on multiple different time frames that confirm your thoughts and confirms the setup of the trade. So Snapchat, we bled hard, and then my new thesis, or not new thing, but like what every smart trader does, they don't just like jump in. I mean, some do, but it's way too risky, and I'm not as psyched about jumping in with that much risk into basically chasing red. So Snapchat, we bled through, retested that level, broke, then we retook it, and then we came up here, and I had this trend line right here. We broke it. I short right there. We test VWAP, can't break it, can't break it, can't break it. And then we get a big bounce because Facebook bounced. And then we come up. I wasn't worried because I saw this 200 EMA on the 5-minute chart. And what do? We rejected it hard, came back down. So now for Snapchat, so my golden goose thing I was talking about was I'm looking for multiple things. I'm looking for EMA crossover. I'm looking for VWAP tests. I'm looking for levels where it's rejected, and I make sure all those boxes are checked before I enter the trade. So for me, we broke the trend line. We got the EMA crossover to the downside, even though it went straight back up anyways. We got the VWAP break. RSI isn't oversold, so I'm not shorting something when it's probably going to bounce. And just in general, I think Snapchat is probably going to come down with Facebook. So to me, it's a low risk for potentially high reward because now tomorrow we can see if we retest this 2855 level, and if that breaks, then we have this next level down here, which is just past support at 2763, and then below that we got a big old fat gap to the downside that has still yet to be filled, and I highly, highly doubt that Snapchat will not fill that gap. And this gap is and why I think it's a sympathy play off Facebook. Obviously it is. Here on February 2nd, it gapped down from $31 all the way down to $25 when Facebook had its disastrous earnings, and then it gapped up huge off of its earnings. And then Snapchat recently had earnings, and it did literally nothing off of it. But what I did notice off its earnings, which I thought was pretty cool, was where did we wake up? Oh, we wicked up all the way to this next key level and bounced off of it. Holy shit, these fib levels are money. So yeah, that is my thoughts on Snapchat. I just think this is a fun little trick I found out you can do on Thinkorswim. If you put a little minus sign before the ticker, it inverts the chart. Isn't that cool? So now I can be a bull even though I'm being a bear. But if you were a bull, you would see what's happening here. You get a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. So that leads me to believe we're getting our higher low up here, but actually the other way around because this is an inverted chart. So yeah, I don't want to short Facebook because it's too risky. I think I just think Snapchat is the company, the growth stock. I mean, I know it's already down like, it's so stupid. This stock was actually at $83 at one point. So I know it's already down like 66%, but they can still go down a long ways. Like they are the stereotypical like growth stock that makes hardly any fucking money, and the second they stop growing is going to be the end of them. They're still a $46 billion still a $46 billion market cap with a P/E of 65. So I'm comfortable shorting this piece of shit. If we do get that face rip rally, I'm obviously not going to hold a short through it. So if we re-break 31.17, I'll most likely cover it and take like $100 loss. But I like the risk to reward on this one. I think it's set up to go down, 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 and it's one of those ad revenue stocks. Google just had rough earnings about ad revenue. But then that was the other thing I wanted to talk about is that I mean, I'm bearish just based off what I'm seeing in the price action. Whatever is going to happen with the economy is going to happen. Like inflation sucks and all that shit. They got to drive down demand because demand from consumers is so high, just like it was in 2007, which is not a great because everyone was buying it fucking everything back in 2006 and 2007, so that's never a good sign, these pre-recession indicators. But I don't think that Google had, let me see here, revenue, $68 billion in revenue this last quarter, which is a 23% growth from the same quarter last year, which is, these are not recessionary earnings. That is absolutely fucking insane. But they go down because they were expected to make zero point 0.1 billion more than they actually did. So expected revenue was 68.11 and they had 68.01. So they barely missed that. It was all because of YouTube because people aren't sitting at home watching as much YouTube as they used to. But it's just stupid. It just shows how emotional this market is right now that Google goes down. It was down like 6% at one point based off of that because they just barely missed that number. And YouTube is like, oh no, YouTube isn't just a money printer anymore. Meanwhile, the entire company still is $68 billion. Are you fucking kidding me? A 23% growth from this time last year. That's absurd, dude. That's so much money. It's just, it's unreal that Google could tank that hard because it barely missed its earnings. So that is why I don't think we're getting like a 2-year recession. This could just be a pullback, but I don't know. I might just be contradicting everything I just said, but yeah, in my opinion, I think it's just a bunch of noise up until we actually know what the market's gonna want to do. And as of right now, it's obvious the market wants to go down, so I will follow its direction. It will hold my hand and guide me. I will not try to guide it. Um, yeah, do I got anything else I want to ramble on about? Oh, AMD. My favorite AMD, the one I always make money on, right, boys? Hell yeah, here we go, AMD. So AMD's nuts. What do we got? AMD, these fib money, these levels are money on the fib, dude. Here was a great short opportunity. What do we get here? Look at this level. So we came down and tested that level, almost bounced off of it, broke that level, tried to retake it, broke it again, retested, couldn't take it, retested, couldn't take it. So now I am being led to believe that the next key level, which just so happens to be $80, will be hit by AMD. But if that doesn't come into fruition, we have a support at $84 way back here from July of last year, right? July of 21. Yeah, and that's kind of the bear case with so many of these tech stocks is that you like zoom the chart out and it's just like they grew so much from October until the end of November that it's like you would think like AMD being down half of its cap is like shocking, but then you look at the chart and it's like, oh, it's where it was in July of last year. So I should have done that earlier and would have I would have not been so stupidly bullish because it's you can see how just overvalued these absurd stocks are. Even though AMD is a great company, it still has a market cap of what, like, it's less than half its market cap, and it still has a market cap of 137 billion. So it's not like this company's going to zero. But just anyways, next key support is way over here. We have support here at 84. So I will see if AMD bounces off 84, retests it, bounces off it again. I like AMD a lot to the upside because on the daily, once again, another stock down here at 30 RSI. This is where you got to be looking for potential long gains. Not like long, like I'm going to hold it for a year and make a bunch of money, but long as in it could rally for 2 weeks and go up like 20%. Those are just easy gains. And that is just, as a trader, you got to see. Hello? Oh, that was my fucking cat. I thought it was goddamn Claire. You scared the goddamn shit out of me, Squash. Shut the hell up over there. You just gotta see when something comes down this hard that is eventually gonna bounce. Not every company, like SoFi. My favorite SoFi. So, but definitely a company for AMD. Just tech in general, you're going to see a bounce. You're not going to see a chart like this on Google. You're not going to see a chart like that and just be like, yep, it'll probably just keep going down. No, it's going to fucking bounce eventually. So, yeah, I rambled on. It was a pretty long video, I think. But yeah, my goals in general to finish off this nightmare of a month is just to focus on my discipline, emotional like mindset going in, just completely ignoring my inner thought that is like trying to tell me to be bullish like I did all day today. Frankly, like I did not want to buy puts for the life of me because it's like the Nasdaq is down 2% in like half an hour. Like how can I buy puts now? It seems so stupid, and then it just keeps going down. So I'm gonna focus on stuff like that. No like revenge trading. Try to stick to my 3 trades. Try to stick to trades where I have like 4 different reason golden goose trades where it's like this is absolutely a good trade. This has the EMA crossover, the RSI is overbought / oversold. There's a key level that it bounced off of. I'm trying to only take trades like that. I'll look at Tesla too because Tesla, this is like a technical analysis dream right here. So I'm really butthurt that I missed this. So here, I know I have a fuck ton of lines on my Tesla chart, sorry. But this pink line up here, this is support on Tesla for literally 3 weeks. No, 2 weeks. Yeah, so he went down to this level in April 8th. Jesus. And it bounced around here, held that support, and then what did it do today? The second we broke that support, it just went straight down. So I'm just really upset I missed that one, but that is like why you watch out for these key levels, and if you see something bouncing around at a key level a lot and it keeps doing it and it doesn't go high off of it, it just keeps doing it, more than likely it's going to break down, and when it does it's going to be a big break, and that's exactly what Tesla did today. I applaud anyone. I know I don't like Tesla because the premiums on calls are so high and you can't fucking short on Thinkorswim for whatever reason, so I wasn't even like looking for this, but I know so many people had alerts for this price level. Once it broke they shorted it, and that's why it's better to like wait for confirmation instead of just like blindly shorting it, because you could have like went short over here, been thinking, hey, it's gonna go down eventually, but then it goes up and you're like, oh shit, and then you get emotional, you stop loss out or whatever. But once you wait for the confirmation, it typically follows through. And Tesla, holy shit, the puts today on Tesla, they absolutely printed. What do we have? Like plus 10,000 or 1,000? Yeah, we had some plus 1,500% gainers on those Tesla puts. So ridiculous. But yeah, that's all I got for tomorrow. I'm curious to see. Microsoft pumped big off their earnings. Google not so much. But I have lots of plays in mind. I'm looking to the upside now in general. I don't think everything's fine and hunky-dory, but I think there's going to be a stupid, pointless bullshit rally that I'd love to make money off of. So good luck to everyone else. Catch you later. Peace.